I leave the church. Behind me, Saber will die once she obtains the Holy Grail. You know what that means, don't you, Imiyashiro? The priest asks if confirming it. The priest is looking down at me from the doorway. Saber will die if she obtains the Holy Grail. I already know that. What if I wish for her to stay? What if I'm like, I don't care. I'm just super selfish. Saber, you're staying here with me, and we're gonna go out and be boyfriend and girlfriend until the end of time. Who's to stop him? I don't know. I don't know. Saber's goal is to obtain the Holy Grail, and she doesn't want the Holy Grail's power. Once she obtains the Holy Grail, nothing will bind her. She will be freed from her situation, frozen on the verge of death, and she will die an unrewarded death on that hill. What's wrong? You're not the type to give that kind of warning, are you? I was just happy that you are supporting Saber. I am warning you out of kindness. Saber will disappear once she obtains the Holy Grail. Jesus Christ, it's like... I don't know. Oh, whatever. If you wish to be with her, you should give up the Holy Grail. Oh. I didn't even... But if I win it, I could just make her be mine forever. Forever. Don't you understand, preacher man? I could just make her be in love with me. That's even more of a contradiction. I won't be able to keep Saber here if I don't have the Holy Grail. You do not need to rely on the Holy Grail. It's just like that servant we were talking about. If you want to keep Saber, all you need to do is feed her souls. Don't play with me. I can't do that. I glare at the priest. I see. That is too bad. He must not even care about my glare as the priest is laughing. Then your only hope is the contents of the Holy Grail. Even if your servant does not wish it, all you have to do is keep one command spell. Your wish will be granted that way. The priest is saying that it doesn't even matter if Saber doesn't want it. That if I am a master, I can just force Saber to drink using the power of the command spell. Oh, did I offend you? Don't glare at me so much. That was just a warning. Well, you could also respect Saber's choice. It is her life. We have no right to say anything about it. But this is an anime, okay? Animes are supposed to be about lovey stuff and hand-holding and getting it on. I shall investigate that servant tomorrow. Come here again if you feel like it. The door to the church closes. Looking up at the church, I grit my teeth, telling myself that I will never come here again. I crossed the moonlit bridge. This is the place where I walked with Saber. At that time, I was just looking at the scenery, not thinking about anything. Saber will die if she obtains the Holy Grail. You know what that means, Imiyashiro. I know. Without him telling me. But why is everything so complicated? Saber must not obtain the Holy Grail. But it is the only thing that can save her. If you wish to be with her, you should give up the Holy Grail. If you want to keep Saber, all you need to do is feed her souls. And I can't do that. Even if I accepted that, Saber wouldn't. She would rather disappear than do such things. She would disappear and repeat this kind of war. Then keep one command spell. That way, your wish shall be granted. Damn, shut up, you shitty priest. Jesus! Oh my god! Did Shiro break a hand? I stop and punch at the rails as if shaking off the command spell. A hard steel sound echoes through the night, and my bones shatter! That's the only sound around here. There's no people nor cars. Damn. Why am I even thinking about this? I lean on the rail and spit it out. I know I should just ignore Kotomine's opinion, but his words had a charm that make me unable to ignore them. What did I want to do, and what was I trying to fight for? first, it was to end the Holy Grail War. When did that purpose fade away and become secondary? Was it when I was obstinate about fighting myself, or was it when you two fudged? Was it when I decided to cooperate with Saber after I painfully realized how powerless I was? Or was it when you banged? Or was it from that time I made a sword for her after that night in the ruins? I will never not like this art. I just love it. Some of this art is just so iconic to me. It just looks so good. Just trying to deceive myself with all that. I don't even need to think about it. Back then, when I met her in the moonlight in that shed, my mind was already made up. Or maybe, when you banged. But that would have been fine. If I hadn't found out because of the dreams, this probably would have ended before I knew it. But I found out. I couldn't leave her alone and decided I didn't want to lose her. I want to stay like this. I want to keep watching her smile. Ow. The girl watching the sunset alone on that hill of swords. Is he going ow from his hand? My chest hurts thinking back to it. Oh, he's having a heart attack. She never had time that was her own. I don't like that. Kuritsugu said we shouldn't let girls cry. I think a smiling face is much better than a crying one. That's why I was irritated when Saber wasn't smiling. But when I told her to smile, she said that it was better if she saw me smiling. It's like seeing stars through a telescope that you can never reach. Damn it. I look up at the night sky. Looking up at the star I can never reach. Drip. An unnoticed tear falls down my cheek. I like her. I say so to no one. However dull I am, I have to admit it. There's nothing I can do about it. I like her so much that I can cry for no reason. I mean, you two did kind of bang. Welcome back! You were pretty late. And then, Tosaka is standing in the doorway. Tosaka? Where are you? Let's talk inside. Come in, you seem tired. She takes my arm without asking me and starts to walk. It takes me to her room. Here's some tea. Must have been cold outside. She says so rather bluntly, but she's thoughtful. Yeah, thanks. Honestly, I appreciate the hot tea. It's about an hour to the neighboring town. Since I walk slowly, my body is freezing. So, did you go to Kirei's place? She asked me directly. I see. So, Tosaka knew all along. But she didn't even stop me. Just waited for me to come home and prepared me some tea. I've made up my mind, and I appreciate Tosaka's thoughtfulness. That must be why. Yeah, I did. I had something I wanted to ask him. I reply honestly, not hiding anything. I see. I won't ask what you want to do. That's fine with you, right? Yeah, it wasn't anything too useful either. I just confirmed the situation. I see. But I'm surprised that Saber isn't a complete servant yet. It's like a bad joke that the strongest servant is the least complete. Yeah, Saber shouldn't have become a servant. I nod. That's a surprise. Maybe you and Archer could have gotten along. He said the same thing you did. Archer, you mean? Yeah, Archer said he regrets it, so he doesn't want Saber to experience the same thing. Why would he worry about Saber? Didn't he hate her? That's true, but I think he might have been a knight with some connection to Saber. He was obviously going easy when he fought Saber, right? I suspected it after that. Really? But it didn't seem like Saber recognized him. Is that so? But Saber was the king, right? So she can't have known all her people, and there's also the possibility that she's forgotten them. Hey now, we'll never get anywhere if you start saying things like that. If she sees him and doesn't recognize him, I think that means she doesn't know him. Why not just ask Saber? That might not be true. According to the legend, there were many knights that got chased out of Camelot. He might have been one of them. If he was hiding his identity because of Saber, that would make sense. Tosaka's actively talking to me. I'm glad Shiro has noticed that she is talking to him. Is she trying to care for me? I don't think it's having much effect, but she's a nice girl. She's usually merciless, but she tries to help people when they're weakened. That's because she's a tsundere. And so, we drink tea together for a while. She must have run out of patience as she looks at me seriously. So, what do you want to do, Shiro? We'll go on a date tomorrow. Wait, what? Where is this coming from? I can't think of anything else. I already decided so on my way home. And then... where did that solemn atmosphere go? After making a really rude face, Tosaka... Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! Bursts into laughter. Hold on. I wasn't ready for that. Ah ha 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 ha! That's great! That's so basically selfish, Shiro. I'm not a good actor, okay? Damn. Now that I think about it calmly, I should have known this was going to happen. I'm such a baka. Shut up! What's wrong with being selfish? I know this isn't the right time, but I won't let you interfere. No, Shiro, you're too funny. Ha 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 ha! Tosaka hits my back, holding her stomach. Yeah. Could this be the worst treatment I've taken so far? Ugh. I'm laughing my heart out. She tries to catch her breath. That's good for you. It's not funny for me at all. Do your best on the date. I like you guys. Tosaka says so. Her attitude completely changed. Yeah, sure. That was a real surprise attack. If she says that kind of a thing, with that kind of an expression, all I can do is nod. I return to my room. Saber is still asleep and the mansion is quiet like nothing has happened. It was raining today, but what will the weather be like tomorrow? Looking up at the moving clouds, I step out of character and wish for it to be sunny. You gotta be getting close to the end of the game, right? Isn't there only like 20 days or something? I'm not even sure. Should be able to, hopefully soon. Plus, this is like near the end of the Fate Stay Night anime, I'm pretty sure. So, before I realize it, it's morning already. I'm useless. I couldn't get any sleep at all. I stopped the alarm clock with a sigh. Today is my date with Saber. No matter what she says, I'm going to go take her to places she hasn't been and play around. And the most important thing is for her to enjoy herself. It did bang at the end, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to use the knowledge I don't have to come up with a plan for the day, but the alarm clock went off before I noticed the time. I set the alarm clock just in case. I couldn't come up with any good plans last night, so I borrowed it from the Tosaka thinking... I borrowed it from Tosaka thinking I might take a long time to come up with a plan. It was useless in the end. Come to think of it, I've never gone on a date before. I sigh again. That's the problem. Even more shocking than the fact that I couldn't get any sleep is the fact that I couldn't come up with any plan that might make a girl happy, even though I thought about it all night. Fine. I'll leave this to luck. I'll just take her everywhere and make her realize what it means to have fun. If we go to the cute-looking store, she's bound to have some kind of emotional reaction. Well, I think the plan has some weak points, but I've made up my mind, so that's what I'm gonna do. It's not like I have any other ideas, so I'm going to entertain her today until she gives up. Then Eliasfiel has not woken up yet. Nope, she's still asleep. Looks like it'll take a bit longer to wake up, but I guess that's a good luck day. That's good luck today. If she were awake, she'd be following Shiro around and bothering him. Yes, we cannot have her continue to accompany Shiro as she has been. It ended like that last night, but we aren't going to start seriously searching for the remaining master today. Shiro cannot be concerned with Eliasfiel. Oh, that's not what I meant, but oh well. It won't do any good if I tell you, and this is yours and, Shiro's problem as well. Tosaka tries to hide her laughter. Huh? A problem for me and Shiro? Saber's expression, it questions me. We're done eating breakfast, so this is a good time. Saber is ready to go and search for masters, but I have willpower as well. I just need to come out with it like a man. About that, Saber. We'll be going into the neighboring town today, so if you need to get ready, do so now. Fucking Rin in the background. Looking for the master. In that case, I would have thought the suburbs would be a better choice than the neighboring town. No, we're going to go hang out, so there's no point in going to the suburbs. Huh? Saber freezes. Oh, god damn it, Rin. I really have to get back at the person behind her who's trying not to laugh. God, look at her. It's fucking hilarious. She's like... Oh, God. Shiro, what do you mean by that? You're not going to go hang out with Rin, but, I'm going, so who else but you will come with me? Tosaka has nothing to do with this since she'll be staying here to take care of Elia, and she's kind of a dick. How ridiculous. We would not accomplish much even if we did search the neighboring town. Doing such a thing is meaningless. What are you trying to do? Saber complains directly. This is what I expected, but the future looks troublesome as she still thinks she's going to town to look for the master, even after I told her clearly. Jeez, you don't understand when I put it this clearly? In other words, I'm saying, let's go on a date. How about it? I ask, ignoring Tosaka's stare. I don't know how much she understands. I do not understand what you are saying. Can you give me a concrete description? That's kind of funny. She doesn't know what a date is. She asks, even less happily. That flips a switch within me. It seems like caring for her has the opposite effect when it comes to things like this. It seems it would be to both our benefits to state it clearly. Shiro, I will obey if you want to go into town, but please explain to me what you mean by going to this date. Even though I am familiar with this age, there are words I still do not understand. Please do not use technical vocabulary. It's not technical vocabulary, per se. I'll tell you since you don't know. Going on a date means like going out to play with a girl. Huh? Saber freezes. A girl? You mean me? But I am a knight, I bet is what she's going to say. She murmurs, still astonished. When I nod, Saber frowns even more unhappily. I understand the meaning of the word, but I do not understand your intent. What is the reasoning behind such a thing? Her reaction is unexpected. The intention of a date is obvious, but I'm a bit hesitant to tell Saber straight on. Jeez. She's misunderstanding because of the words you're using. Don't use the word date. Explain it to her in simpler terms. Tosaka interrupts as if unable to ignore us. God damn it, Tosaka. God, Tosaka has to explain that as well? Does she literally explain everything? Does she have a book of knowledge? And does she just, like, always just loves to point her finger upwards like that? Look, Saber, a date is basically a rendezvous. Shiro says that he's going to play, but it's a chance for a man to appeal to a woman he likes. That is definitely a Saber reaction. I cough. That's what he does, is he coughs. That's great. I'm gonna use that. Whenever I ask a girl out, I'm just gonna be like, you wanna, like, go out Saturday, like, in the movies or something? And just awkward pause. That's how Shiro gets all the ladies. Tosaka is right, but I think a date and a rendezvous are vastly different. But I shouldn't interrupt. It seems Saber finally understands what a date is. That's right, Saber. We're not going to fight today, but we're going to go into town instead. After all, we won't be able to fight during the daytime since there are a lot of people around, so we should be able to do whatever we want right now. That is true, but this is too meaningless. There is no benefit for you in doing this. Oh, jeez. Come right out and say it. Break my heart, why don't ya? That's not true. Even if it were, I wouldn't mind. I've already decided to spend today for you, so don't worry about me. Anyways, we're going into town today. I won't change my mind no matter what. I stare straight on it, Saber. It's like a compromise for her. She's like, feelings or not feelings? I don't know which one to pick today. After thinking with a serious face for a while. Then, will you go into town by yourself, even if I do not go? Yeah, I'm definitely going. Or the stuff I thought about all night will go to waste. Then I will have to go with you. As a servant, I cannot leave my master alone. With a deep sigh, Saber answers in her usual manner. I get really angry about her following me because she's my servant. But I managed to succeed in getting Saber out. So I just have to take Saber to places without thinking too much about it. Which is probably going to be a little bit hard for him as he couldn't look at Saber for a couple days. See ya! Bring me back something. I gesture to Tosaka to go to hell. She makes... Yes! Oh my god. Oh my god. I hope that's not like a line someone put in there. They're like, I'm just gonna put this in here just to make it funny. But that's actually fucking hilarious. I hope to God this is like a literal translation of like the most accurate possible translation of this, because I love that. It's just, it comes out of nowhere. Just, see ya, bring me back something. Just, I gesture to Tosaka to go to hell. Oh, she kind of deserves it. As she makes fun of me right to the end, and we go outside. So, what are we going to do exactly, Shiro? We'll go to the neighboring town. There's a bus from the intersection, so let's take that. And then we're gonna bang on the bus, you know what I'm saying, Saber? I got one command still left. I can do anything I want. Oh, that's terrible. The road is awfully quiet. It's past 9 on a weekday. The town is starting to come alive, but it must be a bit too early for people to start going anywhere. There's no one out on the road, and it's like we have the place to ourselves. Come to think of it, I'm starting to feel no resistance to skipping school. I've been at home all the time recently. Of course, you are a master, so it would be strange for you to be out walking. She replies sharply. She's walking behind me as usual, but it feels different today. To put it nicely, I feel pressure from behind me. Anyway, Saber is going to be harder to handle today. We get on the bus. It would have been full of people an hour ago, but there aren't many people using it at this time. The only people on the bus are an old lady and a kid, so it's like we have this place to ourselves. Let's sit at the back, Saber. We call it to Saber, about to sit right at the front and sit at the back end of the bus. But Shira, I want to be the first to get off this bus. Well, what's going on here? Saber watches the passing scenery silently. Looking at her, I realize how crazy I'm being right now. The bus to the neighboring town is ordinary for me, but in this ordinary thing, there is something extraordinary. Well, in short, to be honest, my mind starts to twist like a Rubik's Cube, realizing we're about to go on a date. Oh, crap. I'm getting really nervous. I'm thinking about it. This is what my plan was to not think about it. I take a deep breath, trying not to let Saber notice. And I know I shouldn't, but I sneak one more glance at her. Well, she's an anime girl. Why wouldn't you want to? My heart jumps. The Saber sitting next to me is a Saber I don't know. No, Saber herself is the same. All that's changed is the place. But still, just that makes me realize she is different. Something I didn't notice back at my place. This ordinary scene seems like a different world just because it has Saber in it. Her hair is like golden silk, and her green eyes are so beautiful that it makes their mere presence is overwhelming. There wasn't much to compare her against up to now, so I forgot about it. I remember the time I first met Saber. I was probably avoiding her because I was embarrassed about being fascinated by her. No matter what Saber says, she is a girl before she is a swordsman for me. I didn't know how to approach her and didn't realize my feelings for her. It's stupid, even for me. I was finally able to believe in Saber with everything I have, and then I decided to go on a date with her. Just those two are in the wrong order, and I finally realized when our day is about to begin just how big a deal it is to go on a date with a girl you like. But that's fine. I can only do my best, so I can't back out now. I calm myself and shake off my weak spirits. The bus has crossed the bridge and it's going into the developing area where the buildings are. I breathe out and prepare myself. The announcer I'm so used to hearing announces the next stop, Shinto Station. Still 9 in the morning, but the area in front of the station is crowded. Most shops open at 10, but cafes and bookstores are already open. There are already many people there. There are already many more people than there were at Miyama City, and this place is as crowded as it is on weekends. Getting off the bus, Saber looks around unhappily. It's only natural. Saber was against this date, and people passing by are looking at her curiously. She must not feel too good about that. Come to think of it, this was bound to happen if I brought Saber here in the morning. That's going to follow us around for the whole day. If there's a way to calm it down, it's to make Saber have so much fun that she forgets about the people staring at her. Alright. I pound a fist and turn to Saber. Pounded it hard. Saber, I'll ask you first, is there any place you want to go? We've come all the way here, so we should at least do whatever we want today. I do not know. I have no place that interests me. Before even that, I have no knowledge on which to base such a decision. Really? That's too bad. But I guess it's really up to luck. The future looks bad if we don't have anywhere to go. And I don't have any ideas where to go. I don't want to ask this, but you do not have a plan, Shiro? Huh. Well, I have a few, but no details. Let's just go to the random stores. Well, that's difficult. I know places where I won't get bored, but I can't even imagine where a girl would be happy to go. Jeez. If it's going to end up like this, I wish I'd gone out with a girl just once. Honestly, please do not take offense, but there is something wrong with you. Your plan to take a rest is fine, but how can you not even have a plan for that rest? Oh, Saber enters her scolding mode. This is the first time she started to complain about something outside of the dojo. I knew she was irritated not being up for this and being looked at by curious eyes, but I didn't think she was this irritated. I have always wanted to object to your lack of planning. You are closely aware of everyone around you, but you treat yourself too carelessly. As a result, you yourself have to pay the price for this discrepancy. Are you listening to me, Shiro? I am. So basically, you're not happy about being here right now, right? Well, it's only natural you wouldn't like it, since it's pretty obvious it's going to be boring going anywhere with me. It is... No. It is not like that, but I'm saying, now is not the time to be doing such things. I know that too, but I won't listen since I've already decided to have you accompany me today. I won't change my mind, no matter what. That is the coldest thing you've ever said to me, Shiro. I just want to know, how did you learn to do it? I look at Saber. Saber just looks back at me in shock. But I'll listen if you have something to say. I'm sure you have complaints, so tell me them right now. I won't have to worry about making you unhappy if you do so. If you say you don't want to go on a date, I'll think of something else. No, I do not think you need to go that far. Saber averts her gaze and runs out of words. You have no complaints? Then let's go. And you have no requests, so don't get mad at me wherever we go. I'm considering an ordinary place, like an aquarium. I decide and grab Saber's hand. Well, that's a new one. This is a new one, right? Oh well. Hey, Shiro, I have no complaints, but there is no need to hold my hand. I don't want to waste time, so we'll be running for a while. I'll show you the way, so follow me. No, I cannot do so in a situation like this. I start to run without waiting for Saber's reply. Since I've talked big to Saber, I can't act miserable now. I just have to take her to every possible place I can think of. I run, holding Saber's hand. She must have accepted it, as Saber finally stops complaining and follows me quietly. Well, it's before 10 o'clock. It'll make the 2 hours before lunchtime worthwhile and surprise her. That was an interesting transition effect. To summarize, the 2 hours went by like a storm. Saber turned into a see-through figure. I think she's dead. I don't know. Is this a normal thing for servants? I tried to ask her, but she didn't reply. We went to a bouquet I usually don't go to, and we played bowling while I taught her the rules. I couldn't find an aquarium, but we fed some birds in a park. We also went to an antique store. I still think it was best not to go to the movie theater. Anyways, I kept taking her to places and a girl might like for the past 2 hours, and there were many results. honorable defeats and total defeats. But I don't think this is what people would call a date. This is more like a contest, a fight to the death where the first one to give up loses. And I haven't lost yet. What is this? This is the most Saber picture right now that I have ever seen. It's her, straight face, no emotional attachment to anything whatsoever. Almost looks like she wants to be anywhere but where she is. Really anywhere but, like, in existence. And there is something in the background, some type of whatever it may be. That's definitely a Saber picture. Saber's the same as usual, no matter where I take her, and she sometimes goes so quiet that I seriously start wondering if she's really gone mad. She gives no reaction, so I became desperate to make her happy at the next place I take her to. As a result, I became obstinate about making Saber smile and ran around different places all morning. But it's already noon without much success. I wonder if she's like really happy, but she's just so used to giving a straight face and like no emotions that she just can't react. So, as Saber reminded me it's time for lunch, I decided to take a short break, but... Oh, the dreaded table. It's played music like really dramatic stinger. So I'm like, oh, it's the table. I am the table. I am the table. I am the table. I am the sorry. That's a meme. Search up I am the table. You'll get an answer really quickly as to what I'm joking about. What is this place? I complain once we're seated at a table. I am the table. I recommend the restaurant by the river if you're going to have lunch. That was the only advice Tosaka gave me last night. Oh, Tosaka. I trust her. Tosaka's a really nice person. And I know there's probably in this episode too where I've probably said things like, she is a terrible person. But that's just how good of a person Tosaka is. She's also an asshole. I trusted her and chose this place. But I never thought it would be so fastidious. I look at the menu. Fastidious, that's a new word. I look at the today's menu for Emiya family. Fortunately, the menu has a version in Japanese as well, so I have no problems reading that. Wait, they're in Japan. They have a menu. And it's not in Japanese. Did they fucking teleport to America? I don't know what is happening here. But the trouble is, I can't understand what kind of food it is from the name, and the prices are outrageous. Am I on Mars? I seriously don't know what I should order. I groan, looking at the menu. Shiro, did we not come by here to eat lunch? I hear a rather frail voice from the other side of the table. Yeah, but it's too different from what I'm used to. I raise my head, and then... there is Saber, with an expression like a concerned rabbit. Saber? Are you a concerned rabbit right now? If you cannot relax, let us return to the mansion. I prefer the food you prepare, Shiro. You mean you want to go home? No, I do not want to go back home, but today has been really exhausting, so I am more tired than usual. You have so... well, I guess she is technically not dead, so... Really? I see. I thought about going out into town again after eating, but if you're tired, we can take a rest here for a while. No, that is not what I meant. Tired was not the word I meant. It should have been... Saber stops. The small gurgling sound was fortunately small enough that only I could hear. If she was hungry, she could have just told me. Aren't they at a restaurant? Excuse me. So in other words, I am saying it would be helpful for us to have lunch quickly. Roger. Yeah, it's no fun, but let's order something safe and get our food quickly. It's simple if all we want are light snacks. I order 2 things from the lunch menu and decide to eat quickly. I got like a cheeseburger. I got 2 double cheeseburgers and I put them together. And in the middle, I put in a cheeseburger. I consider what to do in the afternoon while drinking the after-meal coffee. What I learned this morning is that anything physical is not good. Saber gets serious when it comes to contests. It's good for me, but it makes Saber stand out even more. After we finish a game, I wonder if Saber is like, if you would play her in video games, if she would be so, like, get so into it that she would, like, yell at you if you, like, went down in a game of Call of Duty Zombies. Or, like, if she went down and lost all of her perks. I think she would. I think she would also, like, at first, like, the first week she played it, she'd be totally bad at it, but she'd come back next week and she'd be like, look, #1 in the world. After we finished the game, Saber got angry because she caught all the attention she wanted to avoid. So we should avoid anywhere that involves moving around. Hey Saber, I'm asking for the second time, but is there anywhere you want to go? Me? No, there is none. I cannot tell, so I will leave it up to you. Saying so, Saber lifts her teacup. Saber ordered English tea, and it seems she really likes the taste. We don't have much English tea at my place, and even if we did, it's all instant tea bags. It seems Saber was a bit dissatisfied with the drinks at my house, as she seems to like English tea. I should put that into consideration starting tonight. Well, that's pretty nice. Saber is sitting there drinking tea. She doesn't seem happy or bored. If I had to use one word to describe her, it'd be that she looks natural. She drinks her tea, sitting up straight in the shadows of the streaming sunlight. Even though this is the first time I've seen such a thing, it doesn't seem strange. It feels like I've seen such a scene before. Why do I feel that? The Saber I know is a tense girl, who's always holding a sword and fighting. I see. But it's only natural. I also know her attire after she lets go of her sword. Once she stops fighting, Saber has always been calm and gentle. The scene looks natural rather than new because this is her true nature. No matter how superior she is as a swordsman, it is natural for Saber to be like this. Rather, it's abnormal for her to hold a sword at all. I once thought in my dream that she wasn't suited for fighting. I don't think I'm wrong. No matter how superior her technique or no matter how many battles she's experienced, as long as she is who she is, it can't have been a comfortable place to be. So, this is natural. Saber is resting, not holding a sword. This calm scene is the way she should be. We do the same thing in the afternoon. I go to every place I can think of, and Saber follows me silently. But it's not as painful as it was in the morning. I don't know if it's because I'm getting used to it, or whether Saber is complying. Saber still isn't talkative, but if I look closely, her expression isn't like it is when she's mad. There's a feeling of accomplishment and happiness when I see Saber leave a shop with light steps. So, considering many factors that might make Saber happy from many angles. Teddy bears! It's the best kind of gift you... Oh, they're the Animal Alley. Hey, alliteration. I'm a bit dubious, but I've determined that this shop will be the best suited for Saber. What? Saber stands there dumbfounded. I don't know if her shoulders are shaking because she's angry or because she's deeply moved. Shiro, this is the biggest stuffed animal shop in town. I've never been here before since men aren't allowed in. Oh, that was me. Oh no, that wasn't me. That was Shiro saying that. Of course, there's actually not a rule like that, but since there's only women and men and no men, it's like an unwritten rule. To prove it, there are only girls in here. The golden-haired Saber is being stared at, but being a guy, I'm being glared at. I'm sure they want to tell me not to come into their sanctuary. I feel the same. I would not approve of men entering this place. Well, let's ignore everyone and look around here since, we're here. Saber, is there an animal you like? I feel that lions and panthers are lovely, but is that strange? She asks me with upturned eyes. Oh. Lions are great! So are panthers. All cat-like creatures are the cutest. I look away instantly and contain my laughter. The funny thing is, Saber is strange for thinking she's strange for thinking lions are cute. Shiro, that gesture was unnatural. I feel unreasonable anger, but perhaps it is just my imagination. Sorry. Liking lions is so like you, so I just had to laugh. How dare you laugh at people's preferences? There is nothing wrong with lions. Well, she was kind of asking if there is anything wrong with it, but okay. I'm telling you, I'm sorry. I'll take you somewhere good as an apology, so don't get mad. I go into the store trying to hold my laughter. Well, it looks like the stuffed animals are that way. So, it's taken about an hour to go around the store. I looked at Saber staring at stuffed animals and felt really nervous with all those girls there. Anyways, it was the most tiring hour thus far. But the worst part is, we've only looked through half the store. It took us this long to look at just the half of it because Saber was frequently paralyzed. I mean, Saber kept staring down stuffed animals. It looks like Saber is interested in the other half too, so I'll have to accompany her. Why not go to a zoo? That'd be good. Shiro? Why are you sighing? Are you tired from walking? Oh, yeah, I'm a bit tired. I'm usually not so weak, but this place is special. I guess I shouldn't be doing things I'm not accustomed to. I let out a big sigh. I don't mind being looked at by other people while walking with Saber, but a girl's only place like this is really uncomfortable. Boredom sometimes tires one's body. How about you? This must be your first time in a place like this. Tell me if you're tired. There are so many dates, so many that I've been on where no one thinks to ask if the other person is tired. And like when girls are like, "Why are you asking so much?" I'm like, "Do people not ask you?" And they're like, "No one ever asked me if I'm tired during a date." I'm like, well, that's like rule number 1, man. It's cooperation. It always scores me some brownie points, you know what I'm saying? I certainly do not feel calm, but you look more comfortable. Not just here, but you seemed like this place in the previous store and the store before that. I do not want to think this, but are you choosing places you do not wish to go? For me, Saber's words are enough to cast away my worries. Yeah, to be honest, I'm choosing places I don't like. As I thought, why do you continue to choose places you are unfamiliar with? You will... Well, because these kind of places are suitable for girls. I'm the one that started this whole thing, and today's your day as well. It's not that uncomfortable either. It's fine since you're with me. I have such a cute girl with me, so people might get jealous, but I'll never be out of place. How ridiculous! I am a servant, though. I am not armed. You do not need to treat me as a woman just because we are not fighting. Please, treat me as a servant as usual. Tell me to kill something! You're the ridiculous one. You're a girl to begin with. It's not like I'm treating you differently today. Am I acting any differently? No. In astonishment, Saber opens her mouth as she's just realized that. No, you are the same. You're acting the same as always, Shiro. Yeah, so you don't need to worry about me. So let's go. We're going to buy the one you like the most, right? So we have to go look at the remaining half. I take Saber's hand. Saber silently follows. That's right. It has been like this from the start, but I did not realize it until this morning. She murmurs to herself. The unusual day goes by quickly. Oh shit. I know what's about to happen next. Saber never laughed, nor could I laugh from my heart. It's not like there was any memorable moments, nor were it so boring that I regretted doing it. To be frank, this was nothing. Saber might have been happier if we'd stayed at the mansion and trained together, but today wasn't bad. It wasn't fun or boring, but I can be proud of it in the end. After the battle is over and everything goes back to normal, it would be too sad if all the time Saber and I had spent it would be really bad if all the time me and Saber spent together was just killing people and fighting and hurting other things. Even if it's something stupid, she has to spend some time not fighting, or there's no point in her being here. So I can be proud of myself for now. The end is near. When everything comes to an end, and when there's no more need to fight, Saber will remember this moment and remember that this happened. That alone is enough for me to be proud of. We go home on foot, because Saber said, "Let us walk home," just as I decided to go home by bus. There's some wind now. The vivid setting sun is lighting the bridge red. Oh. Saber notices something and stops. She is watching a mountain of rubble. It's not that tall, even though it's a mountain of rubble. Steel frames and the likes are piled right up to the water surfaces and are slightly distorted the flow of the river. I don't know why, but it seems like a ship sank or something, and pieces of it flowed into a mountain. I heard the local residents have been demanding its removal for a long time since it damages the beautiful sight. What's wrong, Saber? Did that catch your attention? No, I was noticing that it still remains because I was the cause of it. I used the noble phantasm here, having fought on water in the previous war. The only damage was that river dried up, but I also destroyed the ship that was unfortunately anchored here. You mean Excalibur? Yes, but fortunately nobody was on board and the damage was minimal. The river is back to normal, so you should not get so mad. I regret it as well. I should watch out. I have to take care to only use Excalibur in an open place like this. Shiro, are you still mad? Huh? No, I'm not mad. I was just surprised. I was just thinking how many traces there are from the last war. The rubble in the river shouldn't be a problem compared to the wasteland in that park. Well, I guess it was unfortunate for the owner of that ship. Please do not worry, as Kiritsugu said the owner had insurance. He parked the ship there as a buffer, so he used the ship as well to reduce the power of the noble phantasm. Oh, so you destroyed the ship knowing it was there? I did not know. Kiritsugu prepared it without telling me. I think Kiritsugu knew how the battle would turn out. I did not notice since he never said anything there, before or after he prepared the ship. Saber looks down at the river yearningly. The water surface reflects the sunset. The wind coming from the river is a bit strong and flutters Saber's hair. It's because she looks so beautiful like this. Saber, did you have fun today? I was assaulted by a sudden fear that Saber might just disappear, and I asked something I don't need to ask. Thumbnail material. Did you say something, Shiro? Yeah, I asked if you had fun today. She gasps. Saber opens her eyes in amazement. Yes, I would be lying if I said that was not new to me. She says so in a voice of hope, as if such a thing will never happen again. I knew what her answer would be. All I can do now is nod and just go home. Everything can return to the way it was, just like that. I see. I nod, looking at Saber. But let's go again. It's not like this has to be the last time. And I say something that I won't be able to take back. Saber freezes. She must have realized what I meant to say. She shakes her head, looking directly at me, as if saying there won't be a next time. As if this mistake is only for today. Why? I know Saber's answer, but I ask, not liking the answer I expect. I do not need to even explain. Servants exist to fight. A day like today is merely denying my own existence. I obeyed since you decided to take a rest, but I believe resting should not be necessary from now on. There are only a few enemies left. I would like to start searching for Lancer right now if you order me to. She looks at me with eyes full of fire. Saber is saying she will start fighting right now if I ordered it. That causes me to get mad about all the things I can't approve of. What's with that? You really want to fight that much? Of course. I draw closer to the Holy Grail the more I fight. Battle should be prioritized over everything. You should know that as well. Yeah, I understand. But that's why it's strange. I've always wanted to say this, but you're contradicting yourself. You say fighting is important, but you don't like fighting. You're fighting against your will because there's no other way, right? What? That is not true. I do not hesitate to fight. I have already told you that I will do anything to win. Yes, she did say that. But that's not a reason to like fighting. As far as you can manage, right? Look, Saber. If you just want to defeat other masters and obtain the Holy Grail, you could just attack people and take their power. But you don't want to do that, right? That is... It's not that you don't want to involve innocent people. You know well enough that people will be dying once you start fighting. That's why you want to minimize the battles. People will die if you fight, so you want to end the battle as quickly as possible. In other words, you're frightened of fights with victims. After opening her eyes, as if she's seen a ghost, she grits her teeth and straightens her stare. You are wrong. I do not fear battles. Yeah, I don't think you were ever scared, because an individual's fear must have been suppressed by what you call the King's mission. But you still fear battles. You were strong and good at fighting, but that's not a talent you ever wanted, right? I'll say this honestly. Fighting does not suit you. You must have hated even pulling out that sword. You claim that fighting is your only objective is just an excuse to try to deceive yourself. It's so simple. Why didn't you or anybody around you notice it? Shiro, I will not tolerate any more insults even from you. You can't stand it because it's the truth, right? You won't be able to fight anymore if you admit it. She grits her teeth. Saber glares at me in anger. I don't think you want to do this, Shiro! I don't think you want to do this! You ain't gonna get sexy times! I can't back away. If I believe I'm right, I can't run. I mustn't run away. So, you should stop. You want to stop too, right? You must know fighting doesn't suit you, so just quit it. Stop being a servant and do something that suits you. She needs to regain the happiness she should have had as a human. For that, How ridiculous. I have no choices besides fighting. I only exist to obtain the Holy Grail. I submitted my body to fulfill my promise as king. I cannot allow any other use for myself. I only exist to obtain the Holy Grail. That annoys me the most. Why does she say ridiculous things like that as if to convince herself? Everyone around her took her word because she kept saying things like that. You baka! That's not true. There are infinite ways. You're here and different from before. So, you have to live for yourself. Don't make any mistakes and don't use the Holy Grail. The final wish she's permitted. Don't use it for people you don't care about. If you're here, you need to be happy here. I hear the wind. Saber doesn't answer. She doesn't even nod. She just looks back at me. I cannot accept your words. I made a contract to obey you, but I did not give you my heart, master. She replies with a strong voice. I cannot forsake my oath as a king. There is a duty I must fulfill as the king. King Arthur's goal is to obtain the Holy Grail. Even if I achieve that goal, I will not return to being Arturia. I have only ever had one wish. This wish has never changed since I pulled out that sword. Why? That's not a thing you have to do. It's wrong for you to be unrewarded for your actions. You don't need the Holy Grail, and Saber's wish won't come true. It's impossible to erase everything that's happened. Saber, you can't redo what's already done. No, I think it's something you mustn't do. You should know that. No, that is not true. I'll tell you. How bad the result, you can't change what's happened. However bad the result, you can't change what's happened. Wanting to redo something because you couldn't do it is just childish selfishness. Oh, Jesus, Shiro. You're making the pretty anime girl laugh. Our words in there. Saber doesn't say anything. I don't have anything to say. The wind has changed. The wind has stopped as well. No, the wind hasn't stopped. It's only died down for a second. Another sound of wind. Just as I feel the wind on my cheek, I thought you would understand, Shiro. The wind has changed into a headwind. Oh, not good, Shiro. You messed up. She's gonna kill you now. She's gonna get that sword out and kill you. Better run. Is that all you wanted to say after wasting this meaningless day? A cold voice. It contains only rejection. Do not be so conceited. What makes you think you understand me? You have no right to invade me. Do not fight? What are you saying when you need me to protect you? Please, give me that nonsense after you are able to fight on your own. I do not think that will ever occur. No, it's not nonsense. It is nonsense. Think about myself. That goes for you as well. You do not consider your life. You say I am mistaken, but you are even more mistaken. Only corpses consider others more important than themselves. How can a fool who does not even know the value of his own life address me so? Saber, you... Did I annoy you? Then I will not mind if you dissolve your contract with me. You do not need the Holy Grail anyway. I will defeat the remaining masters by myself and obtain the Holy Grail myself. If you do not wish to fight, you can go and hide somewhere far away. Saber, are you serious? I ask with a trembling voice. My teeth are chattering because I'm suppressing my emotion. Of course, my only goal is the Holy Grail. Everything else is unnecessary. You are no exception, Shiro. I stop breathing. He just got fucking dumped. I bare my head, going white, and managed to restart my stopping heart. Wow! Yeah! Can't stop a heart, hope it never stops! You blockhead. Fine, if you want to fight, go ahead and do what you want. I don't care. But I can't stop my emotions. I yell what sounds like an excuse and run away from Saber. I get away from her, but for a moment... Oh, God. What? Oh, I thought like she was turning into a different... I was like, is that Sakura? But no, she's not Sakura. She's just really sad. I think I see Saber standing there absent-mindedly. Damn it. I run. I keep running, not knowing what's so vexing or maddening. Everything else is unnecessary. You are no exception, Shiro. I grip my teeth hard and stop myself from yelling out. Just remembering it makes me white out and I might run into a pole or something. No, it would be easy if I could do that. If I was just angry at Saber, I could just take it out on something. But that's not the cause of this fury. It's not just Saber that I'm mad at. It's so vexing and I keep running hard because I hate how weak I am. Saber was standing there absent-mindedly. The words she said, just as the wind changed directions. I thought you would understand, Shiro. Damn it, you idiot, I don't understand. I spit that out, then regret it so much that I almost fall. What was it about? Her voice, like a farewell, sounded like she was crying. Come to think of it, maybe those words were the only honest things she said. Those words murmured with her head hung. A voice of hope, disappointment, and wishes. Then, who is the betrayer and who is betrayed? I run into my room and shut the door. I collapse. I do not want to stand up. I just want to lie down and go to sleep. But my body is still burning. My heart feels like it's splitting open and my lungs are desperate for air. I ran full speed from the bridge to here. My body must be exhausted. I haven't run enough emotionally, but my body is telling me to calm down. I slowly calm down. I take a deep breath and let it out. And after I settle my breathing, all that fills my head is the question of why I was so enraged. I do not even have to think about it. I ran as if throwing something off me because I was so powerless. I can't save Saber. That fact is so vexing that I was angry at myself. I can't do anything. I promised to make her laugh. I promised to protect her, but I can't do anything. That makes me furious. But what can I do? It's useless for anyone to say anything if Saber herself doesn't want happiness. That's why I tried hard, so she'd be able to find her own happiness. But she told me that was meaningless, and on top of that, she called me a fool. A fool who doesn't even know the value of his own life. What can I do when she says that? I value my life as well, and I don't want to do anything that might endanger it. But this has nothing to do with Saber. I think it's unfair of her to bring it up right there. No matter how stupid I am, I'm sure Saber's wrong. But if she denies me like that, I can't do anything. Damn it. Man, she can do whatever she likes. I turn over and lie on my stomach. The floor is the only thing, so I close my eyes to black out my mind. That's it. I don't care about Saber anymore. If the Holy Grail is so important to her, she can go marry it. She is so obstinate that she doesn't understand after I've told her this much. I'll be burned if I associate with her anymore. No, I'll be seriously hurt. Whoa! Whoa! Now I'm not gonna remember that's in there, okay? So likely someone that's watching this is gonna see that. So congratulations if the C Tactics didn't find where this occurs in the video, because I couldn't. I've already been hurt though, not just burned. I've met her. I met her, fought with her many times, and even banged. No, and even had sex with her, even though it was just to survive. The heat of that night wasn't a burn, but it almost killed my brain. Why? Why do I recall such a thing when I'm so pissed off? If I recall that, it won't matter what Saber says. Something only used to fight? Then don't show your weak parts. Anyways, Saber is unfair. I don't know what's so unfair, but I think it's unfair that I don't know what's unfair. God. I can't hate her even though I'm this mad, and the more I try to ignore her, the more I can't. It's such a contradiction. Her whole existence is unfair. I can't hate her no matter what. Damn it. I guess the one who's in love loses, but I can't help it. If I can't give up no matter how useless she tells me it is, I have to keep trying until the very end. No matter how much Saber hates it or rejects me, if I believe I'm right. I thought you would understand, Shiro. 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 It's like an echo. I remember her face about to cry. In the future, will she make that kind of face every time I repeat this? But still, I can't agree no matter what. Even if I'm wrong and Saber's right. If she's really important to me, I can never apologize to her. I thought I heard a sound. When did the sun set? The room is dark. The sound of the second hand on the clock is annoying. Hey, how long are you going to sleep? I need you to wake up. Wake up already. It's past 10 o'clock. Ilia's bugging me to get dinner ready, so wake up and go keep her company. An angry voice that wakes me up completely. Past 10? I get up quickly. Hey, it's Tosaka. What you doing, Tosaka? Hey, I'm single and ready to mingle. What you doing here, huh? I know you were pretty interested the last time me and Saber did that thing, you know what I'm saying? When we do that thing, but together, hey! Oh. Yep. 10:17 to be exact. It's way past dinner time. Tosaka looks flabbergasted. Sorry I fell asleep. I'll go right away, so wait for me in the living room. That's fine, but where's Saber? Well, if she's not here, she must be in the dojo or the living room. Shiro, I'm asking you because she's not here. Tosaka is serious. That tells me what the situation is in an instant. But she's not back? Hold on, Shiro, what do you mean by that? Tosaka runs out of the room after me, but I don't have time to explain. I run outside, ignoring Tosaka's words behind me. The town is quiet, a world like yesterday where all the signs of people have vanished. I don't have enough composure to think it straight now. Saber isn't back. Come to think of it, that's only natural. We argued so much. She said she would fight by herself, so considering her personality, she really would go and fight by herself. Saber could be anywhere. It's possible that I won't find her and that she's fighting Lancer right now. But still, I came here first. The air by the river is cold. The park is so cold that it feels like frost is packed here. My breath is white, and my cheeks and ears hurt. It's so cold. So how cold must it be on the bridge where the wind from the river rises? That is where she is standing. She's still there? Right where I fled from her. Saber is looking at the river, not doing anything. Is she looking at the long-gone sunset? Her gaze into the distance seems to be watching a red horizon that has already disappeared. It makes me realize she's strong, yet so weak. Her gallant figure must be proof that she could live without anybody's help. But she is so weak that my hand might go through her if I reach out. She can't do it alone, but she defends her pride until the end. That's why it was the same for me, watching stars that cannot be reached. She stares at the distant set sun, as if she knows nothing else. I can't leave her alone. If I lost, it was a complete loss for me. It made me swear to myself that I would never let her make such a face. I walk on the bridge. I'm making sounds, but Saber doesn't notice. I walk towards her in silence and stand next to her. Saber, you'll freeze if you stay out here. She jumps. She must finally have noticed me. Shiro? Saber turns around as if to question me. What are you doing out so late? Tosaka was worried since you didn't come home. I see. I should apologize to her. That's fine, but why were you here? Well, it doesn't matter since it was easy for me to find you. I was still here because I did not yet know where to go. You told me to do as I wished, so I tried to do so. But I could not think what I should do or where I want to go, so I was thinking all this time about where I should be going. She speaks like a lost child. She must feel guilty as Saber keeps averting her gaze. She did have that big fight. It's only natural for her to think I'm still mad. I'm sorry. Please tell Rin she has helped me very much. I shall return to you once I defeat Lancer and obtain the Holy Grail. So until then, She says she'll wander around without a place to return to. What are you talking about? You're coming back to my house, right? I prepared your bed and your food. But you said you do not understand me. Well, that's right. I don't know what you're thinking. So saying, I take Saber's hand. Shiro? Let's go home. Even a servant will catch a cold if they stay here this long. Let's hurry back and eat something warm. But I want to apologize to you. If you have any complaints, tell me now. I say so rudely, looking away from Saber. She looks at me astonished. She looks like she wants to apologize, but I ignore her. That must have worked on her. Saber doesn't say anything and follows while holding my hand. We come down from the bridge and into the park. It's 11 o'clock. There's nobody in the park, but it's overly decorated with things like the fountain and the street fights? Street lights. We keep walking. Saber is walking slowly. She was standing on that bridge for more than 5 hours. She must be freezing and be tired as well. She falls forward sometimes as I pull her by the hand. Should I walk slower, Saber? You don't seem to be doing well. I turn around to check on her. No, I feel fine. It is just that it is not because of Reen, but it really seems like a rendezvous if we are holding hands like this. So, hearing that, I feel my face burn up in an instant. Should I let go? I mean, if you don't like it... That's cute. No, this is fine. Your hand is warm and very comforting. Our conversation ends right there. I walk on to hide my embarrassment. Saber silently accompanies me. How much further is it to the mansion? I feel embarrassed by the warmth in my hand as I leave the park. Many things happen today, but if it ends with this warmth, I can change religion and start to pray with that priest. But the instant I think so, where are you going? Do not... Oh, no! Where are you going? Do not take what is mine, kid. We meet someone we never should have met. Oh, shit. My happy mind freezes in an instant. Goosebumps form all over my body and my throat won't move as if it's forgotten how to breathe. Shiro? It must be the same for Saber behind me. Her hand holds me tightly. Just as I feel an unavoidable death, Saber too feels an inconceivable desperation. I have kept you waiting, Saber. I have come for you as promised. Archer? Oh, well, he doesn't exactly... What? Does he have, like... What's up with his, like... crotch? What? That's... okay. The Golden Servant. The unknown heroic spirit who swept away the bone creatures and even cast her herself without any difficulty. The monster is in front of us. He's so close to us. At a distance with which we could start fighting if we wanted to face a death greater than Berserker. What's wrong, Saber? I have come specifically for you. It would be rude to stay silent. Or do you intend to play around for a bit before you become mine? Before you become mine, King of Knights. Archer stifles his laughter happily. His eyes aren't looking at me. He's only watching Saber. With his rude eyes, he's looking at her as if evaluating a work of art. Saber's presence changes. She must have prepared herself. Unlike me, unable to move a finger, she is already glaring at the enemy servant. Shiro, I will block this first attack no matter what. Please retreat from here in that time. I know how hard that is, but that is all I can manage against this servant. Her back asks me to forgive her. Even Saber can only manage to block his first attack. The chance of success of retreating from a guy like this is low. Saber is asking for my forgiveness for that low chance, probably. She knows she has no way to defeat that servant. She can't do that. This is different from when we fought Berserker. For some reason, I know that making Saber fight this servant would be bad. No, I may know the reason. I felt it when I saw his noble phantasm last night. Saber will not be able to beat this man no matter what. It's not about skills as a swordsman. Before that, the prerequisites are wrong. As long as they are heroic spirits, no heroic spirit will be able to beat him. No, you're the one who's running away, Saber. Shiro? I cover Saber and face Archer. Yeah, you had a master, huh? He was so shabby that I thought he was a dog or something, he says so happily. The man raises his hand and slowly brings his fingers together. I feel sick. I'll be killed if I don't retreat now. There's no reason or logic behind it. I feel instinctively that I'll be killed if I stay in front of him and... Go, Saber! The church is nearby. It should be the shelter even gets them. I push Saber away and run as if shaking off the premonition of death attacking me. There's only one thing to do. I'll run up to him, project Saber's sword like when I fought Berserker, and... Well, he's fucked. My body flies. What happened? The instant the man clicked his fingers, something appeared right beside me. How? I could tell it was a big hammer and that I was smashed away, flying across the ground like trash. I can't move. I feel like all the bones of my body are broken. I can't feel my limbs. My pain is numbed, and I can't even tell if I'm alive or not. I will not kill you. Saber would disappear if I killed you now. That is against my will, but I shall let you live until the Holy Grail appears. The man laughs. I move my hands to try to get up. My body doesn't want to at all. My blood is flowing. It feels like the energy to move my body has stopped reaching my limbs. But do not be conceited, mongrel. There are ways to let a servant stay in this world without you. It is just that this is the least troublesome state. I will kill you if you annoy me. That kills my mind. He will kill me. If I move any more, he will do so without hesitation. How could anyone move after being told that? Shiro! Saber tries to run to me. Where are you going? There is no one left to intrude. That piece of shit is not the man you should be running to. But the man won't allow that. He stands before me and waits for Saber to come to him. Saber stops and glares at the man. There's about 10 meters between them. It's a distance Saber would be able to close instantly, but... It seems you are not willing to come to me? I find that hard to understand. A heroic spirit like you must know how valuable it is to be chosen by me. Nonsense. I am a king even though I am a heroic spirit. I will not submit to you. Is that so? Even if you are a king, you are still a woman. It should be a woman's joy to be held down and be violated. So why do you refuse? It is not like you are a virgin. Are you scared to become mine? You. Do not resent me. I do not only take. I shall give you pleasure equally. If you are to become mine, Oh God, Saber is angry as... I will literally give you everything in this world. Be proud. I have accepted that you have such value. The man moves. He opens his arms as if to accept Saber. That is right. You don't need to be a guardian, nor will you return to your point of death. I will say this once more, Saber. Be mine. Let us enjoy our second lives in this world. I refuse. I have no interest in such things, and most of all, I do not want to live with you. She does not nod or retreat. Saber looks at Archer head on. Ha 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 ha. He stops. I do not know what's so funny, but the man starts laughing. Great. That is what I expect from the woman I chose. Yes, there must be at least one that will not obey me. All right, and I shall do so by force. After I obtain the Holy Grail, I shall pour the contents onto you. Rejoice, Saber, you will not need your master after that. You will be taking in all the power of the omnipotent vessel. You shall not be a familiar to humans like the servants. The man says so with satisfaction. To that, Saber replies, Archer, what is your intention? She must have realized that fighting is the only way. Saber asks her enemy's reasons at the end. Intention? I do not remember. Unfortunately, I have obtained everything, so there is nothing I wish for. What? Then do you not seek the Holy Grail? The Holy Grail? Oh, immortality! I gave that to the snake. You gave immortality to a snake? Saber's presence freezes. What was that conversation? Saber shakes her head and tries to deny the word. But this world is interesting. The basic principles do not change, but the decorations are so elaborate that it seems different when it has come this far. In this case, it will not be too bad to reign over this world. Yes, I think this is my intent. If it will let me do that efficiently, the Holy Grail is not without use. The desire to rule? You are despicable, Archer. You seek the Holy Grail for such a purpose? I can't speak today. I do not seek it. Everything in this world is mine. I just do not like others using what is mine. You too should hate having your holy sword used by strangers, King of Knights. Saber's body grows misty. After a brief flash, Saber is wearing her silver armor. Oh. The man does not even move. In the next instant, Saber dashes forward. She runs up to the man instantly and slashes her invisible sword with deadly speed. Repelled, Saber jumps backward. If Saber's armor is materialized from her magical energy, his armor must be the same as well. Oh, jeez. That looks pretty cool. In the short battle, the enemy has armed himself. Saber looks calmly at Archer, holding her sword ready. Even with her stare, the man does not stop smiling. All right, I shall allow you to oppose me, Saber. The enemy happily announces the beginning of the battle.